So let's solve this question at first. Because of some technical error, I stopped the previous question. So you will start from the beginning. So the question they have given that explain the rationale for various monetary policy measures undertaken by the Reserve Bank of India during this COVID-19 pandemic in India. So in the solution, we discussed that the COVID-19 actually the COVID-19 impacted negatively, hugely impacted on the economy. So because it had a significant impact on the Indian economy, leading to a contraction in GDP growth and widespread job losses. In response, the Reserve Bank of India undertook the several measures like decrease in GDP. Actually India faced decrease in GDP growth, job losses. So Reserve Bank of India took several measures to control this. First was the reduction in the policy rates. So the first measures that was taken by Reserve Bank of India was decrease in policy rate, that is repo rate. So the Reserve Bank of India reduced the repo rate, the rate at which it lends to banks, by total of 250 basis points. So that means around 24.5% between this February 20 to May 21. This was done to reduce borrowing costs for individuals and business and stimulate demand. Okay. So the second part was the second step, so which was taken by Reserve Bank of India, was liquidity infusion. What is the liquidity infusion? The Reserve Bank of India injected liquidity into the financial system through various measures, including reduction in the cash reserve ratio and targeted long-term repo rate, that is TLTROs. And so the second instrument taken by Reserve Bank of India was TLTROs. That means targeted long-term repo operation, that is TLTROs. Okay, so this was done to ensure that there was sufficient liquidity in the financial system and to support lending by banks. So actually all these are measures to increase the liquidity. Okay. So the third point, the third measure which was taken by Reserve Bank of India was regulatory measures. That is the regulatory measures. Okay. So the Reserve Bank of India also announced regulatory measures such as moratorium on loan repayment and restructuring of loans for borrowers affected by the pandemic. So moratorium of loans. Moratorium on loan. It was taken by Reserve Bank of India so that they can control the money supply in the economy. Okay, so the next part was the part four, or the fourth step taken by Reserve Bank of India was bond market support. Bond market support. The Reserve Bank of India announced bond market support. In this case, the Reserve Bank of India announced measures to support the bond market, including the purchase of government bonds and corporate bonds. This was done to ensure that the government could continue to borrow at low rates and to support the flow of credit to corporate sector. Another measures taken by Reserve Bank of India in this COVID-19 situation was exchange rate management. Exchange rate management. So the Reserve Bank of India undertook measures to manage the exchange rate, including the purchase of foreign currency reserves. This was done to ensure that the rupee remained stable and to prevent any sudden outflows of capital. So this was done to make rupee stable. It was the objective of this exchange rate management. So overall, the Reserve Bank of India's monetary policy measures during the COVID-19 pandemic were aimed at supporting the economy and ensuring that there was sufficient liquidity in the financial system. So these measures were designed to mitigate the adverse effects of the pandemic on the economy and to support the sustainable recovery. So this is the entire solution of this question. Thank you.